got a few books. This is a few books here, not a lot. It's just a small, it's a tiny little, these are books now. These are just, shoes. Yeah, shoes, yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today, I have a very long-awaited, long-needed, long overdue book haul. I have a very, very large quantity book haul. Let me just preface this book haul though by saying that these books I've been collecting over the past maybe like month and a half. So although this is titled an October book haul, this is more of like a September, October book haul, and a lot of these books here I received from publishers and stuff like that, so I did not intend on getting this many books. Well, do we ever intend on getting the amount of books that we say we're gonna get? It'll be a long one. I'm just looking at the stack of boxes and stuff that I have here, and this is easily gonna be at least 30 minutes. We'll see. But without further ado, let us get into this video. Yeah, we're just gonna start from September books received and then work our way into October books received. Okay, so the first book I have here, I think I mentioned it in one of my vlogs, but I'll mention it again just in case. I received this first book here from Fierce Reads a few weeks back. I am just like loving the cover. Every time I look at this cover, it reminds me of Harley Quinn for some reason. It's Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. This is the second book in the Renegades series. I think in my vlog, I said that this was the third book, but you guys were like, no, Naya, there's only 2 books out. I actually have the first book. Hold on. First book in this series is Renegades, and Marissa Meyer, if you don't know, wrote the Lunar Chronicles, which is one of my favorite series of all times. And I have not read Renegades yet. Oh my god, did this book come out last year or 2016? I think it came out last year, I'm pretty sure. So this is the first book and this is the second book, and I've been told that this series is about sort of people with extraordinary powers and abilities, so it's kind of like a hero's villain thing, which I absolutely love. So I really need to like get into this series because it just sounds really great, and a lot of people said that they liked it even more than the Lunar Chronicles, and it kind of still has that sci-fi, science fiction, futuristic vibe that the Lunar Chronicles has. So I'm very excited to get into these, and like I said, don't you just get Harley Quinn vibes from these? So the next package that I have here is from Macmillan, I think. We're about to find out. I also, by the way, just opened all of these boxes. They've literally been stacked, so I don't know what books are in all of these. Okay, cool. So I have an advanced copy of Last Girl Lied To by Ellie Flynn. I have never heard of this book. April. Okay, so this book doesn't come out until April 16th, 2019, but it is a suspense thriller slash contemporary book. I'm just like categorizing it in all the genres because I'm not 100% sure. So I believe this book is about suicide, so trigger warning. It's about 2 girls who end up going to a party, and one of the girls that night ends up leaving and committing suicide. Basically is kind of like tracing all the things that happened up until that moment, and our main character ends up going and just discovering that kind of her friend had a whole life she didn't really know about. So it sounds really interesting. This next package I got from Penguin, and okay, if you guys remember my previous vlog or book haul, I received the Map of Days box that looked exactly like this one. That box basically had an arc of Map of Days by Ransom Riggs and a bunch of really creepy photos in it, if you guys remember. So anyways, this box arrived in the mail and I was so confused because I'm like, did they send me a second box? But I opened it and it was full of surprises. As you can see, the book in here is a final copy edition of A Map of Days by Ransom Riggs, which is the final book. Is it the final book? The 4th book. Is there 4 books? I'm like a terrible booktuber. I apologize. I should know this stuff, but I've only read the first book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, and I absolutely loved it. But yeah, this is the last book, and it's just, I just love the concept of it. But yeah, so here's the final book. And the other thing that came in here, which was super cool and also a little creepy, but I'm used to creepy by now with Ransom Riggs books. I don't know what you call it, but it's one of those things where you look in it and then you click this thing and it shows you different photos. And yes, they are the photos that were in the first box, those really creepy old-fashioned ones. So yeah, that's why I said like it was kind of freaky when I was looking at it. Everything's also in 3D, which makes it even more creepier, but super cool. My little sister loves to play with this thing. I had to like steal it back from her for this book haul. But yeah, so thank you to Penguin for that, as well as Fierce Reads for Arch Enemies. This package I received from my friend Margo. If you guys remember Margo from Epic Read, she has her own channel now, Margo Woods. I'll link her down below. But she works for a comic book slash graphic novel company now, so she's always sending me like graphic novels and stuff that they're releasing. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, I have to show you this. She wrote a little note on here. It says, "This is so cute, Margo." Hi, Margo, if you're watching this. I don't know if she's watching this. But look how cool. Okay, so the first thing in here is this poster, and it says, "Reading is nice," and it has, is it a dragon or a unicorn? Or they kind of look like Pokemon, I'm not sure. But super cute. I'm gonna add this to my little poster wall in the corner. Oni Press, that's the company that she works for. They have really cool graphic novels, and they're very diverse. So she sent me this cute little graphic novel. I don't think this is the full graphic novel. I believe this is just like an arc. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, so it says, Aquicord Cove is the charming, exquisitely illustrated, and LGBTQ focused book. Seems like a magical sort of graphic novel, and the artwork looks so cool. Oh, okay. I'm really excited to read this. Yeah, thank you, Margo, for the book. Okay, so the next package I have here is also from Penguin. I'm trying to like block my address. Oh my god! Okay, wait, I've been waiting for this book. So a publicist reached out to me about this book, and I'm just so excited to check it out. I just realized that I matched the cover of this book, which was totally unintentional. Look at this. Look, can you see why I'm freaking out right now? So this book is Everything's Trash, But It's Okay, which I think is the coolest title ever. Like, I can relate. By Phoebe Robinson. Now, this is an essay collection written by Phoebe Robinson, and she basically kind of goes into gender, race, dating, and just talks about the world from her perspective. And it just sounds, and it's supposed to be like kind of comedic as well. So I'm so excited to check this out, not only because she has an afro on the cover, but also just because I just love essay collections. But yeah, I'm so excited about this one. So thank you so much to Penguin. And they also sent me these really cute little like matching pin. So thank you so much to them. Okay, so, oh cool. Oh my god. Okay, so this right off the bat, I am loving this. It says, "The brightest stars burned the fastest." But this is Anna Todd's newest book. If you don't know who Anna Todd is, she wrote the After series, which I haven't read, but I own. But her assistant reached out to me on Instagram and was like, "Hey, Anna Todd has a new series coming out. Do you want to check it out?" And I was like, yes, of course I want to check it out. This book is The Brightest Stars, which focuses on our main character, who she grew up in a military family, and everyone in her life is kind of in the military, and the two guys, I think there's two or just one guy, there's men in this book. He is also in the military and dealing with family issues, as well as kind of falling for this new person. It definitely sounds like a sort of heart-wrenching contemporary book. And I've heard good things about Anna Todd, so I'm really excited to check this one out. All right, and the last giant package I received here was from Fierce Reads. So thank you so much to Fierce Reads. They sent me this box of, I believe these are fall releases slash spring releases, but we'll find out momentarily. We hope you enjoy these YA selections from our winter 2019 season. It is everything from high fantasy to contemporary romance to thrillers. Oh my god, okay, so the first book in here, which is just, I love the title, "Strangers Assume My Girlfriend Is My Nurse" by Shane Burkaw. Oh my god, wait! I watched a documentary on him. So this book was written by Shane Burkaw, who he is a entrepreneur, it says, as well as a blogger and author, and I know he does a lot of talks and things like that, kind of like motivational speeches, paralyzed from the neck down, and of course his life has been different from everyone else's, and so he wrote a book before this one, but this is his newest one. It is an essay collection, basically, if you can guess from the title, kind of comedically told, but also more serious about, you know, what's it like. It's very short. I think it's only like 200 pages. So yes, this is an advanced reader's copy, and this book comes out January, February, March, April 30th, 2019. So the next book I have here is Squad by Mariah McCarthy. And right off the bat, I'm gonna guess it has to do with cheerleading, just from the bows and the title. But this book sounds like another sort of teen contemporary book. It follows our main character, who she is a cheerleader. And it basically seems like a contemporary book, just following sort of the drama in her life and the like misunderstandings and the sort of stereotypes that she gets as a cheerleader. It's a contemporary book, and I've never heard of this author before. I'm not sure if this is her debut book. It sounds like a very quick contemporary read, but yeah, I feel like this is something my sister would love to read, if you guys remember Nanea. Oh my god. Okay, so I don't even know what this next book is about, but the cover is so beautiful. I gotta do a close-up of this. Look at this cover. Like, What? So cool. Okay, so this book is Ransacker by Emmy Laybourne, and this book is the second book in a series, and it kind of sounds like Mistborn. It has to do with people with rare powers. It says precious metals, a final showdown. I don't want to read the synopsis because I haven't read the first book, but the first book in the series is called Berserker. And yeah, it basically follows these people that have superhuman powers, and I believe it's historical fiction as well. It says back here that the year is 1886, so it sounds like a historical superpower hero book. I don't know. And this book comes out in January, so definitely have to pick up the first book in this series. So this next book I have here is Bloom. It is a graphic novel, and I'm so excited because I've been trying to get more into graphic novels. But the color scheme of this book looks so cool. This book follows a boy who just graduated high school. His whole high school life he's worked at his father's bakery, who he owns like a pastry shop or something like that. And basically, of course, his family wants him to sort of stay in the business and help run the shop after high school, but he wants to go to New York City or just to a big city and kind of pursue his dream. So he's kind of just facing that, do I stay with my family or do I go out and just maybe fail but try pursue this dream. This sounds like a wonderful story, so I can't wait to dive into it, and it is around 300 pages I think, but of course with graphic novels they go by so quick. Oh, okay, so the next book I have here was translated from Japanese, which is so cool. I'm so happy more books that were originally written in Asian languages like Korean or Japanese are being translated into English now. I'm a Japanese minor, by the way, so I'm a little biased here. The Beast Player by Nahoko Uehashi, and this book is a fantasy book that takes place in Japan, and it says here that Nahoko is a pretty popular, well-known popular children's writer in Japan, which is really cool. I'll have to look her up after I film this video. It says here that this is an epic YA fantasy about a girl with a special power to communicate with magical beasts and the warring kingdom only she can save. If you guys remember, I read Flame in the Mist, which was awesome, and I've been wanting to read more fantasy books that are kind of inspired by Japan or take place in a sort of fantasy Japan. Anyways, super excited to read this one. Right, and the very last book I have here is Small Town Hearts by Lily Vale, and it says rule number 1, never fall for a summer boy. Oh god, I just know right off the bat this is a contemporary book. So this book is another book that takes place right after high school. Our main character just graduated and it's her last summer before she goes off to college, but basically it's about this girl who falls for this guy who he's like a tourist visiting for the summer, which I can relate to because like I said, I grew up in Hawaii, so you know there's always those tourists that come for like 2 weeks and you're like, oh my god, I want to be best friends with them, and then they have to leave again. But yeah, so basically our main character falls for this boy over the summer, or is trying not to fall for this guy who she knows will just leave at the end of summer, but of course like
Hey guys, so as I'm editing this, the footage is corrupted from the second part, so I apologize for the random, abrupt ending. But yeah, what I was saying basically in this book is that, yeah, this is a book about a small town, and it's a contemporary book, and it sounds really cool, and it basically ends with me saying I'm super excited to read it. And yeah, so this was luckily the last book. But yeah, so until next time, keep reading, and I'm sorry I'm a bad videographer. Okay, bye guys.